So, Grand Canyon. We all know about it. It's one of the 7 wonders of the world, and it's also 73 miles from us here in Flagstaff. And right now, currently there's a plan to build a gondola into the heart of Grand Canyon at the confluence. So in this presentation, I want to inform you about what's going on so that you can be active defenders in the national park that's pretty much in our backyard. I've worked in Grand Canyon for 5 years as a commercial river guide for a company called Canyon Explorations. And in these past 5 years, I've come to think of it as my home. And that is why it's important to me, and I've been studying it. And I do not want it to go away in the state that it is now, so that's why I want to inform you guys about what is going on. The reason why this project has already gone so far is because people are unaware of what's actually going on. So I think first off, it's key to inform people so that people know, and that way they can do something about it. Teddy Roosevelt said, "In the Grand Canyon, Arizona has a natural wonder, which is in kind absolutely unparalleled throughout the rest of the world. I want to ask you to keep this great wonder of nature as it is now. I hope you will not have a building of any kind, not a summer cottage, a hotel, or anything else to mar the wonderful grandeur, the sublimity, the great loneliness, and the beauty of the canyon. Leave it as it is. You cannot improve on it. The ages have been work on it, and man can only mar it." So, on that note, why is Grand Canyon important? It's one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's a World Heritage Site, and it's sacred to 4 different tribes in the Southwest. It was made a national park in 1919, but in 1956 it was almost dammed. The Bureau of Reclamation had a plan to put a dam up that would flood most of it and have most of it be underwater as a reservoir. And the only way that that was prevented was people writing letters to Congress and protesting it. And the amount of letters that people wrote was unprecedented in the history of the U.S. So that same kind of thing is happening now, which is we need to stand up as citizens of the U.S. and protect what is ours. The canyon was carved over the past 6 million years and has a geologic record that's visible of 1.8 million years, which is almost half of the universe, of the Earth's existence. So it's very special in that way. It's also home to 70 species of mammals, 200 species of birds. 25 of these are endangered and 21 are endemic, which means that they only exist in Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon is 277 miles long. It's 18 miles wide at its largest and over a mile deep. So it's clearly a treasure to humanity. Anybody that sees it or has even heard of it knows this, but they don't know that it's currently at risk. So let's talk about the proposed development. So right now, the Little Colorado River is the main tributary going into Grand Canyon. It's at mile 60. So here you have Lake Powell. Flagstaff is over here, and then you have the Little Colorado River coming in right here. And right now, the Navajo Nation is planning to put a gondola that would go down into the main corridor to river level right there. And these are the advertisements they have in newspapers. This one says, "Save the confluence. The confluence and Navajo sacred sites are currently unprotected and overrun every year by national park visitors. Building the Escalade," which is what they're referring to as the gondola, "will provide access for on-the-ground monitoring and law enforcement to protect sacred sites." And this is in the Hopi Navajo newspaper, so this is going out to most of the Navajo Nation in 2012. And this one says, 48 years. It's time for 2,000 jobs, 28.5 billion dollars coming in, and paved road. Basically, they want to develop the 15 miles on the rim, and they also want to develop down in the river corridor, which would bring over 10,000 visitors a day, and there would be buildings, and also another big part of it would be the sewage, and they have not come up with a plan for that. This is on Navajo land, which is surprising because it's also sacred to Navajo people and Hopi people. They both think that, they believe that their tribes, their people originated from where the Little Colorado River runs into the main Colorado River, and so it's where they think their ancestors live and where their gods live. So it's sacred to them. And the idea that it's protected now would completely change when you bring a bunch of cars and people and buildings in every day. That's why it would not be a good idea. It would change the whole idea of the place. Right now, Grand Canyon is special because it's protected, and it's 277 miles of wilderness, which is hard to find right now in the U.S., considering all the development. The taxes we pay go to parks like Grand Canyon. I factored it out, and each of us owns about 4 acres of national parkland. So some of this is yours, and it's your responsibility to make sure it's there for future generations. And right now it's definitely at risk. So knowing about the issue, which is what you do now, what you know now, is the first goal. The second goal is to do something about it. So what you can do is you can write a letter to Congress. Ann Kirkpatrick, she is our senator that actually resides in Flagstaff. So you can write her a letter and say, Grand Canyon is important to me and I do not want the Escalade to happen. I'll leave you with this. Kevin Fedarko, who's the author of The Emerald Mile, said, "Nowhere else has nature provided a more graphic display of its titanic indifference to the works and aspirations of man." And if you agree to this and you want Grand Canyon protected, now is the time to say something by writing a letter and also informing your friends and family and whoever about what's going on in Grand Canyon. Thank you for your time.